Hi, I'm Donna, and I'm an author and a scriptwriter. I'm also an empowerment and writing coach. And today we're talking about the power of little things as a writer. As a writer, clearly your chosen format for expressing yourself, for creating worlds, and for sharing your creativity and imagination is through writing. Whether it be a book or whether it be a script, the challenging thing about that can be that it is mostly virtual, mostly digital nowadays. It can certainly be like I am doing lately, writing in books and notebooks. The thing about it is that most other art is a visual format. So if someone paints on a canvas, it's there for other people to see in an instant. And when you're writing, that's not always a visceral thing that you can show people. If you're writing a script, unless the film gets made, people don't get to visualize it and see it. And if you're creating a story or a book, regardless of whether it's fictional or non-fictional, unless someone sits down and reads the whole thing, be it published or not, there is no physical just being with the whole of it that there are in so many other formats. A movie takes about 2 hours, a book takes about 10, 11, 12 hours, audiobooks, and then if you're reading them it can take a lot longer, obviously. And the point with that is that books or scripts are not read as a whole or seen as a whole in the same way that, say, a piece of jewelry might, or visual art, or a sculpture, or other forms of creativity. As I said, even movies take 2 hours. You sit with it and you're in that container for that amount of time. And I think one of the most powerful things a writer can do is have a physical, visceral version of their script or their book. So the first thing I would suggest is to do a poster if you're doing a film, if you're writing even a short film. And I'm going to put up my latest one here. So it was actually, I wrote this around a full moon eclipse last year, and I finished it around Samhain or All Hallows or All Saints or Halloween. And I wrote this called The Portal. And it's about 25 pages, and it just kind of sat there. I think maybe one person's read it, and I haven't promoted it in any way. I've shared it with a few people, but it's one of those things, they haven't had the time to read it. And so the other day I created a poster for it because I felt that, and here's the main thing, as a writer, there are little wins. Writing is a deeply private and personal thing, and it's not often you get to share it with other people in a way where they can resonate with it without a deep conversation about the topic. So as a writer, if you can create a poster that really captures the feel and the vibe and the atmosphere of what it is you've written as a script, that's an amazing thing to do. So that's one of the reasons I created this poster. And also, I've published 15-ish books, so it got up to 16 and then I took 2 away. And there's one that's 2 different versions, but the point is they've all got different covers. And if you're a writer, and if you write any form of book, before you publish it, it's there in words, and people don't get to see your words. You might have an elevator pitch, you might have some sort of short takeaway that someone can have about it, but they don't get to feel it, viscerally see it, and interact with the energy of it unless they spend a lot of time reading it, buying it, and that's if you've published it as a rule. So even if you've just written the first draft of either a book or a script, I would strongly suggest getting a cover done. And you can do that yourself. Go into Canva and create your own book cover. And if you're writing a script, then yeah, get a poster done, because having that visual element that is literally just there. You just look at it and you get a feel for it, and you can put words on it. Obviously, the covers and posters have words as well, but it's not 50,000 words or around that. So the other thing is if you're going to do a book, you can get a proof copy before you publish it, and that's your private version to have and to hold and see how it looks before you give it out to the world and sell it. And that, if you really want to write a book or you have written a book, creating the cover and then doing a proof version is one way to do it without having to release it to the world. So think about doing that. The other option, of course, with either a script or a book, is to print it up yourself and have a physical version that you can hold. This is, for the most part, a physical world, and I really do think that there is something so powerful and potent about the tangibility of having something physical to have that you can hold and open and flick through. And even if you print it on your own printer, just for you to have there, or just do a poster and have that as a virtual, here's what I've created. And that's why I'm sharing this today, because having created 15, 16 covers and having written a number of scripts and writing more books, having that visual element can be so inspirational for you, and it's little celebrations of your work as well. And I would suggest don't let it give you a false sense of accomplishment, but creating a cover or a poster as you're writing it can help you. And of course there's all sorts of visual things you can do to help you. Obviously with a script there's all sorts of things, storyboarding and everything, but that's more after you've written the script. Anything visual that you need as a writer to help you stay inspired and on track and feeling the gorgeousness of being a creator and creating worlds and sharing information is good for you. So if it works for you, it's good for you. Obviously we don't want to be hurting anyone. So yeah, today, if you're a writer, if you're writing a story, whether it's 5 pages or 500 pages, if you're writing a script and it's either 5 minutes or 3 hours long, I would suggest doing something visual or visceral to help you feel that there's progress, there's little wins, there's some inspiration. And here's the thing, if you create a poster on page 5 and it's a different story by page 200, you create another poster. Perhaps that poster, that visual element, creating and capturing the atmosphere of your book, your story, your script, it really does help to cement the reality of all the effort and the work and the creativity that you're putting into it. And anything that can make your journey as a writer more enjoyable is definitely worth the effort. And if you create a poster, if you create a book cover, I would absolutely love it. If you could send it to me, it's realinkproductions@gmail.com. Happy writing!